Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. I am in a hotel because I'm on the road doing some work. I actually work for a living. A lot of you knew that. Some of you don't. I actually have a job. I do some filming. I do some real estate. I work a lot. And I'm on the road this week doing a commercial. It's going to be really fun. And I just decided, hey, I'm not going to not do videos because I'm on the road, but I think I'm going to keep it light tonight. I think I'm going to stick to Reddit, have some fun, ask me anythings. We're going to go into Bridezillas. We're going to give some DADVICE to some people who are not looking for it, but they're going to get it anyway. And maybe do some would you rathers just so we can have some fun together. Keep it light, keep it short, but have some fun because you guys are amazing. I do not have the ability to dance here in the hotel because I don't have speakers, so I can't even play it, but here you go. Anyway, so let's get right to it. There's not going to be an intro. Let's just go dive right into Reddit. So tonight, if you guys don't know anything about Reddit, okay, it is super addictive. Okay, if you go onto Reddit and you can find, I follow some Reddits that would blow your mind. I follow Reddit that's called Desired Path, and it's literally a subreddit where there's like a sidewalk and like people have created their own path like across grass. That's a subreddit. There's a subreddit for anything. It is wedding season here where I am, and people are like, can you do weddings? I only do weddings for people I love, by the way. So if I love you, I will shoot your wedding for free because I love you. It's my gift to you. But I hate doing weddings. I did it for 10 years. They're super lucrative, but oh my God, you have to work with Bridezillas all the time. And all weddings are the same. They're garbage. I don't like any weddings because I did hundreds of weddings and they're like, everybody's like, it's so unique. I actually been to a couple weddings where I'm like, yeah, that was baller. That was badass because it was different. It's like in someone's gorgeous backyard with a tent. They got like all you can eat Chinese food and like candy bars and like just keeping it simple. But weddings are all the same and they're all lame and boring. That's why I want to start with Bridezillas because Bridezillas can be crazy. There are Groomzillas, but there's way more Bridezillas because it's for her. The day's for her, right? So there's this one I found here and it's called Get Rid of Your Daughter, Bridezilla. And it says, the subject is, I want my fiance to get rid of his 4-year-old daughter. So right off the top, you're like, don't marry this lady. Please run for the hills. Okay. Hi, I need some advice from the mommies on your page. My fiance has a 4-year-old daughter. Her mother passed away when she was born. He's been raising her on his own ever since he lost his wife. I am now in the picture and we are set to get married in 2022. I'm also 7 months pregnant with a precious little girl. I'm not the stepmother type and I know I won't treat his daughter the same way I will treat our child. I haven't read this, by the way. Holy shit. To be quite honest, she gets on my damn nerves. For one, the little girl looks just like her mother, and having her around constantly reminds my fiance of his dead wife. I hope this is fake. Oh my gosh. Second, she's very attached to her daddy, and I'm afraid this is going to take away from my child's bond with her father. I basically want to tell my fiance to get rid of her. She can live with her grandparents, or we can find her a nice family that's looking to adopt a child. Okay, Micah. Is this Micah? I don't know how to approach the situation, but I need to find a way to convince my fiance to let her go. This is recent, by the way, everybody. I promise I'm not a bad person. Just trying to look out for my child and make sure she receives all of her daddy's attention without having her older sister to intervene. Please help. Oh my gosh, I hope there's an update on this. Okay, so obviously you know that this person is a psycho, right? This person is crazy. I hope this guy understands. If this, like, imagine yourself in this situation, okay, as a dude. Your fiance comes up to you and says, look, I'm not liking this relationship thing with your daughter going on. We got one on the way. I want to make sure you focus on her. So, hey, is there any way we can get rid of her, give her to a friend or a grandmother or whatever? Is that cool? If the guy doesn't initially say, oh my gosh, bye at that point, then he deserves everything he's going to get. So a little bit of DADVICE for this guy. Run for the hills as fast as you possibly can. If this is not fake, now we know a lot of these shits are fake, but it's nice to read them and say that there are, but we also know that people like this exist. If we look at Micah and James, who were willing to rehome an adopted kid after 3 years after exploiting him, there are people like this exist on the internet. People kill dogs. Nikki Phillippi. You know, people who monetize killing their dog. Nuts. Norris Nuts. Okay, lots of people will do crazy stuff, exploiting their children's injuries and everything else. There's people that will do shit. I gotta make that connection though, you know. So here's some of the top comments. So that's So Fetch writes, what the actual F word? This belongs under I'm a total piece of shit, which is another subreddit that is so good. I hope this dude finds out how shitty his chick is before they get married. Unfortunately, he got her pregnant, so he's stuck with her for the next 18 years in some shape or form. As a stepchild, I feel for the poor little 4-year-old girl. Thank you for the kind person who gave me an award. I love Reddit because you can get awards, your shit's upvoted. All the best comments kind of rise to the top, cream of the crop. I love it. Someone writes this, why my personality? As someone that went through exactly this situation as the older sister, I feel for that kid and hope her dad is a better man than mine was. My dad kicked me to the curb when I was 12 because my stepmom didn't like me and their son got more attention than her. So I had to go so she could take my place as the number one girl in my dad's life. Oh, the stepmom. It's been 6 years and every time my dad's tried to reach out, she pulls him back with an excuse that I'm a horrible person because I'm definitely the problem. The point is, I didn't wish that shit on anyone and the worst experience for anyone. So this does happen. This is insane. If you guys have ever seen Flowers in the Attic, go watch Flowers in the Attic. You can't unwatch that shit. I watched that when I was like, I don't know, someone made me watch that when I was like 10. Who makes a kid watch that when I'm 10? I think I was hanging out with older kids. I was being babysat or something, and they're like, let's watch this movie. That was in my nightmares for 10 years. It's in my nightmares now. Go watch Flowers in the Attic. Crazy. So let's be real. That Bridezilla, 10 thumbs down. Lots of thumbs down. Like, just go get help. And I cannot, this is why you just chill on having babies. Wait till you find out what they're really like before you bring a child into the world with a person. Can we just agree on that? Thanks. All right, let's move on to another one. This is the bridal Facebook groups are the best. They have these posts and they are real. Brad Vibes post, help, I need advice. My fiance and I are having lots of issues right now. We can't stop fighting and I don't know what to do. I quit my job because wedding planning was taking up too much time and my fiance is refusing to get a second job. He doesn't understand that I don't have time to get ready for work, drive to work, be somewhere else all day, and then drive home. I need to be home to plan this wedding. I'm trying to find a job from home, but it's difficult. I asked him to get a second job, but he won't. It really pisses me off because we're spending $80,000 on this wedding. And he keeps saying that we should spend less. Hello, no, this is my wedding. This is why Bridezillas are, it's like they think it's, and maybe it is. Maybe that's like traditionally, it is the bride's day. I get it, right? But we've moved on from there, okay? It's 2021 now. Let's stop having weddings. I've been dreaming of since I was little and I refuse to have anything but my dream wedding. How can I convince him to work a second job to pay for this? What happened to happy wife, happy life? Again, DADVICE, dude, run. At this point in a relationship with the wife, if I've told my wife or my fiance, I'm not getting a second job, we're going to spend less money. That's it. Like, nope. But she seems to be like, not for that. I would love to know what the comments were in that section. Good comment here from Arch Demon Blood. That's nice. He needs to back out of this marriage now. This level of Bridezilla is not going to be any less entitled as a wife, especially if she's already spouting shit like happy wife, happy life, and quitting her job and demanding he take a second one. I'm hearing all this stuff in this old school way of thinking, and I was this way of thinking. I grew up as Christian, all that stuff, happy wife, happy life, all those monikers and everything that you speak and you profess and you say. But in the end, wouldn't it be like, let's be real, happy each other, happy life, right? If everybody I've always thought about this. Someone told me this once, I forget where I heard it, but it's give one another, love one another, and you guys are gonna have an amazing marriage. Not saying I have the best marriage in the world. We have a pretty good, darn good marriage though. We're good parents. We laugh, we cry, we make fun of our teenagers together, we judge people at the mall. Like it's pretty good. It's pretty tight. Well, she doesn't judge people. I do. She's like, why are you such an asshole? I'm like, cause. So that's kind of how we are. But it's good because we match each other. We're opposites of each other. We bounce off. We have a good marriage that way. And I feel like the one thing I will say, if anybody asks, was your wife a Bridezilla? Because my wife's not like that. She's not entitled. She's very selfless. She's very giving, generous. Like she hardly spends money, and she's like, can I buy? I'm like, buy whatever the hell I don't care. I always buy tons of shit that I don't need. But she's always like saving. She feels guilty for spending money, and I don't know why, because I spend money like water. And she always like, anyway, she's just very frugal. And where was I going with that? Oh yeah. But when it comes to being a Bridezilla, she only had one thing that really got to me. And maybe this is because she had some influence from specific people. Mother-in-law. But I have great in-laws. My wife's parents are amazing, and they paid for our wedding, which is like their gift to us, which was, pretty expensive. And the only thing was, I was basically on the outs of planning this whole thing, which I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit. Go ahead. but I'm not a hands-off guy, right? If you want me to do something, I'll do it. I don't mind having input on certain things, and I'd like to, but if you don't want me to, whatever. I'm happy with a barbecue in a backyard, like chill, right? We had to do the whole thing, right? So anyway, she's like, this is your job, because I'm like, is there anything you want me to do? Because I was like basically on the outskirts of our wedding. I'm like not doing anything. Her mom and her were doing everything. So I was like, give me something to do. She's like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to pick the meal. I'm like, whew. Are you sure? Because let's do it. So I picked the meal, and it was primo. I'm good at that. I'm good at picking shit. And you know what she did? They absolutely just completely didn't take anything I chose. And I'm at the wedding, I'm like, this is not what I picked. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So that's the only Bridezilla moment at my wedding. I wasn't super angry. This is how I got back at her. And she didn't know this. She ordered like these custom cupcakes on this like trellis thing that went up. It was a beautiful little cupcake thing. You know what I did? Day of, I go over to what's it called? Cinnabon. Okay, I buy $175 worth of Cinnabon, like a tower of Cinnabon, like icing, just drizzled, I bought 400 icings, like in little packages and everything else. I load that shit up. I asked the hotel to bring in a microwave. People can heat up their. Guess whose shit got eaten? That's all I'm saying. Okay, tower of Cinnabon is way better than any wedding cake that ever happened. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Let's head over and see what's new on Am I the Asshole? These always have a couple of good ones for sure. All right, here's a good one. We talk about vegans a lot. People can come at me because I'm not anti-vegan. I'm oppo-vegan, meaning I eat meat. Jeff, my other co-host, he's a vegan. We make fun of him all the time. But this is a good one. Would I be the a-hole for refusing to stop cooking bacon in my kitchen due to my teenage daughter's vegan lifestyle? And I'm going to preface this by saying, if you look on TikTok right now, it's called liberal TikTok on Twitter. And it is crazy what some of these kids are coming up with when it comes to like some of the shit that they're coming up with. Like we need to go back 10 steps. We haven't raised, the teenagers now are the most entitled generation I've ever seen in my entire life. That's basically because parents have failed them and the invention of like screens and internet, and that we just wanted to go against what our parents did, which was beat us with belts and all that stuff, which I get, right? But we went too far. We went too lenient. And so now we're getting kids who are super entitled. Now let's read this together and let's see if this dad is the a-hole. Dad here, old fart, loves his daughter to pieces, but I'm struggling to see eye to eye with my teenage and my wife on this one. We've always been a meat-eating family. We live in the rural Midwest, and bacon for breakfast is pretty much a given. Yes, love it. This year, my 14-year-old daughter decided to go vegan, and I jumped onto her support team with enthusiasm. We learned how to substitute ingredients, cook new things, try new things. I adjusted our budget to include more expensive vegan substitutes for her. Way to go, Dad. Good dad. None of this has ever been a problem for me until recently she saw me cook bacon in a pan, and then I rinsed it out to load in the dishwasher, and she exploded in anger. Teen years. I'm not too fussed about the anger explosion. I know she doesn't mean it. And she said that was her pan for vegan food. I was completely floored and said, kiddo, this here is a family pan. Older than you, it's not your pan. Yeah. She asked me to purchase her a pan that she can solely use for vegan food. I don't want her to feel weird about food, so I said sure, and ordered her a few colored ones that are only for her. The reason they're colored is so it helps me remember that I'm not to touch them unless I'm cooking vegan. This sounds like a great dad. That wasn't good enough. Now apparently the dishwasher is contaminated with animal product, and the fridge has bacon grease fingers on it because I eat bacon and touch the fridge. Same. And she's asked me and her mom to completely stop eating meat at home. I don't mean literally touch the fridge. I don't mean I literally touch the fridge with greasy bacon hands because I wash my hands, but it's clearly enough that it upsets my daughter. Frankly, I'm on team hell no. Her mom is much more amenable and strongly wants me to consider taking our daughter up on the request. My wife's reasoning is that both our parents live close so we can eat meat products there, and that she doesn't want our daughter to feel uncomfortable in the kitchen. My daughter says she's fine with cheese and butter in the fridge, but it's specifically meat products that make her feel sick. Now, I'm sorry for her, but I feel like she just needs to adapt and live side by side because I'm not going to stop eating bacon in my own house. You stand firm. In the comments below or to the side, is this daddy a-hole or no? Yes or no, simple answer, no. I'm going to say no, he's not. He's trying to live side by side. He's not saying we're not going to do that. He's saying I will try to accommodate as much as I can, but still eating in my lifestyle. And this is the problem with entitled generation that we've raised. They think they're entitled to that. And so parents out there who are listening to this, stop raising your kids like that, okay? Stop letting them rule the roost. Tell your kids that they have autonomy and they have choices to be made. They, obviously we want to make sure that they have their privacy and that we have their informed consent before putting things on the internet and stuff like that. But at the same time, we have to parent our kids and we have to say, life is going to be like this. If you meet someone that you love, likely you're going to meet someone in a vegan circle because you're vegan, sure. But what happens if you meet the love of your life and he happens to like bacon? What are you going to do? Let's read some comments. NTA is not the a-hole, obviously. Get her a special sponge she can use to wash her own dishes so she didn't have to use the dishwasher. Good point. Doffy Trash. Don't use a dishwasher. Wash your own damn dishes. Come at me. I mean, she only needs one pan. Meat only gets cooked in pans. So, you know what? Even as a dad, I might even go as far as to say, you know what? I won't put meat pans in the dishwasher. But if you put on a plate, no, she's going to have to be the one that washes it. I'm sorry. That's it. He's not the a-hole. He did what he could. That was a good one. Relationship advice. So if you guys liked my DADVICE, today you're getting a lot of DADVICE. That's what we're doing. Relationship advice. These are so good because some of these people are so dumb. I'm 29 female, keep finding long hairs in my bathroom, which is strange because my husband, 32 female, male I think she meant to say, is bald and I have short pixie crop hairstyle. Typo, my husband is bald, 32 male. Okay, good. Using a throwaway account because reasons. This started a few weeks ago. While cleaning the bathroom, I found a number of long hair strands over my bathroom wall by the shower. This struck me as very odd because not only does my husband not have hair, I also wear a very cropped short hairstyle, so it's impossible for the strands I found to belong to me or my husband. Interesting. Confused, I washed them away but couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided not to mention it but kept looking out for them. There seems to be a pattern that there's hairs appearing when I'm either at work or out for a longer time period. Is he best friends with a Wookiee? Or is it a hooker? Alright, I feel like I'm going crazy and feel like I shouldn't just immediately go to my husband cheating on me with a longer haired woman. I asked my husband about it and he just shrugged, which makes me more paranoid, as surely this is something strange and why he's so blasé about it. I'm starting to think he's playing it down to stop me from finding the truth. If my wife came to me that this is an allegation, I'd be like, what are you saying? I would probably be like, no, I don't know. Because it's the truth. That's maybe what he's thinking. It happened again 2 days ago and I asked my husband again. He dismissed it, but this time admitted it's strange, but told me the only explanation is they must be my hairs. They are not, and after saying so, he'll just ignore me if I bring it up. This is sus. I agree with you here, lady. I don't want to assume my husband is cheating on me and accuse him of such over something so ridiculous, but I'm driving myself into the ground trying to work out how the hairs have got there without my husband dismissing it as nothing. During lockdown, we haven't had any visitors that I know of, so I can rule this out. I can rule out his sister. My advice to you would be to, if he's shrugging it off, okay, and this is relationship advice, everybody, as a dad, the advice I'm going to give you is you got to put a camera up. That's what I'm saying. Get a Ring doorbell, whatever the case may be, and just, unfortunately, put a recorder in the bedroom. This stuff can eat you alive. If you don't know where it's coming from, he seems to be shrugging it off. I mean, that in itself is like a big step. If you don't trust your husband and you're going to take a step towards trying to figure it out, you got to be ready to apologize if it's not the case and just say, I was feeling, but open communication, I will always say this, open communication. But it sounds like she tried to be open and communicate with him about her issue and say, look, what's going on here? And he decided to shrug it off and then decided not to talk about it. So the only other option here is to catch him red-handed or not, right? Here's the update. I ultimately decided against getting a secret camera set up because, ironically enough, I didn't want to betray my partner's trust. Okay. Though part of me wanted to get one to squash any worries of someone living in my walls, as per some comments said, someone living in their walls. I did, though, plan to leave work early, which is something I've never done before. Oh, the plot thickens. My boss allowed me to leave after a half day. Upon returning home, nothing seemed amiss. I was expecting another car on the drive or parked outside the street. There was no other car I didn't recognize. Quietly letting myself in, I was immediately confused. In the hallway, there was a pair of shoes I didn't recognize. Oh, damn. And not only that, they looked like men's shoes. Oh my. We're going there. We're going there. Standing in the hallway, trying to work out what to do, if I should sneak around or make my presence known before I could decide, my husband walked out of the kitchen with 2 cups of tea. By my husband's face, it was obvious he was surprised to see me. Oh, hey. Uh-oh. Shit. Imagine what would you do at this point? Damn, I don't even know what I'd do. Wow. Playing along with naivety, I asked my husband how he could have known I was coming home early to make me tea. Expecting my husband to lie, he surprised me by sitting down and explaining everything. Here we go, everybody. You nervous? At the beginning of lockdown, his friend, someone I'm not at all that close with because they only met once, was evicted, lost his job, and had been couch surfing. So for some days over the past couple of weeks, this guy's been traveling to our house with the acceptance of my husband, using our bathroom to freshen up and attend interviews. He was also borrowing shirts and suits from my husband. As it turns out, my husband's friend has long hair and a beard. Aw, he's a nice guy. Wow. Okay. So it turns out my husband isn't cheating on me, but was hiding the fact that his long-haired friend was coming over to use our shower. After a shower, I ended up meeting Dave, and he turned out to be a really nice bloke, just down on his luck. I wished him the best for a socially distanced interview, and he went on his way. I asked my husband why he didn't just tell me, as I wouldn't have a problem with it. See, this is where communication. The husband knew something was up. Why didn't he tell her? He should have just told her. He was doing a nice thing. Turns out he was worried about my reaction and me not liking his friend or approving the situation. He also told me Dave was very embarrassed about the whole situation, didn't want people to know what he was doing. I told my husband I was starting to believe he was cheating, and he was shocked. Having not even considered those implications while attempting covering for his friend, I told him this whole thing was ridiculous, and even suggested his friend live with us until he's back on his feet. This is nice. I like this story. Funnily enough, my worst case scenario, which was mentioned in the replies, was either a homeless man or a woman living in my walls and sneaking using the shower. And though this seems to be half the case, I'm glad it wasn't a stranger, as such was my unwelcome and somewhat that wasn't unwelcome and someone that was living in my walls. Thank you everyone for the comment and who took an interest in this. But the guy's like, but imagine if you had done the camera thing. So anyway, I'm glad we could do this here. I love doing this DADVICE thing. If you guys have any advice you want to ask me in the back end, there's some people that did ask me some things. I completely forgot about them, but please send me some. Maybe it's more I'll do an Ask Me Anything on Instagram, and then at night I'll answer all the questions, because that seems to be fun. You guys want to get to know me a little bit more? Ask me anything. I will literally tell you anything. I think that'll be fun. I'm getting over my cold a little bit better, and so I'm feeling a little bit better. But everybody take a deep breath. This is a good one. Take another one. I'm really sick right now. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being here, even though this wasn't a video about a mommy influencer or anything like that. I kind of think this is sometimes fun to do these types of things, and I'm working on my story that I'm going to be telling you guys at 100,000 subscribers. Something coming down the way is something I never even thought I'd ever have to do, is confront my childhood, which I've been doing lately, and it's killing me, but in a really good way. I'm really learning to understand where I came from and the things that were happening to me as a child that were not okay, that I thought it was okay. This has been a very eye-opening experience, and YouTube has been really good for me. I mean, just for the therapy side of everything. It's been incredible. And so I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being beautiful. Thank you for messaging me on Instagram and leaving great comments and thumbs ups and all those kind of things that do to support me. I mean, it really means a lot. And I hope that, I can present you guys with something fun to watch, something interesting, something to think about, something to chew on. I hope that's something for you. I hope this is therapeutic for you as well. When I bring Sam on, I know it's therapeutic. This channel is, someone had said the other day that Sam is the backbone of this channel, and I tend to agree. So I really want to just say thanks again for everything. You guys are incredible, beautiful. And those pants today that you're wearing, or shorts because it's hot, it look really good. Just keep doing you, stay safe, and stay beautiful. And I'll see you tomorrow.